What's up, everybody? Sean Desmond here, and I support Think One Woodstock in Africa.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, world? It's Eric Mazimpaka with Scion Studios, and the date is September 15th. I'm not here to hit you up with artsy video or anything like that. I'm here just to tell you straight, and tell you why I'm running Canada and what Think One is or what we're trying to do. You know, I guess the best way I can start off this story is when we left Africa. It wasn't under any other circumstances besides leaving war and genocide. A single mom with 3 boys trying to flee a country into another country where she doesn't speak the language and where you experience the kind of racism and blind hatred that comes out there with ignorance. And I'm not gonna lie, moving to Sweden and growing up as a young child and moving to Canada, my first impressions of white people wasn't good. And it wasn't because it was no other reason besides experiencing what we experienced in Sweden. But when I moved to Canada, I'll never forget being in Walmart and having somebody smile at us for no reason, and remembering the stark difference between being in Sweden and when we moved here and having random strangers smile at you, and then going to a school where you have friends from other countries who've immigrated, and a country where they encourage creativity. You know, I'm blessed that I'm blessed for everything, to be honest. And why I'm driven to the extent of going as far as trying to run across Canada. Look, I'll even show you guys where I sleep. See that couch right there? Yeah, that's right. I sleep on my mom's couch. I spend about 23 of the 24 hours in a day either finishing up a painting for Scion, working on a video, finishing up projects, or training for the 7,200 kilometer run across Canada, just so I can remind the world where we came from. It's ridiculous to me that the luxuries that we experience in the Western world come from the discomfort and of other countries. And for example, in the Ivory Coast alone, there's still slavery happening over cocoa beans for chocolate. It's 2012 and we still have slavery happening because of cocoa beans for chocolate. I don't know how many times I have to say that for it to sound as ridiculous as it does. Or in Congo, having children mine for a mineral that they have no clue how important it is. I mean, for every development that we are going to experience as a human race, coltan is the most needed mineral right now. It's the world's most dense mineral, and it's used in the microprocessors of every laptop. I've talked about this before, every cell phone. So imagine that you're sitting in front of your computer eating chocolate, watching a movie, but not realizing that what went into making that happen. You know, the world is bound by a common thread of heritage, you know, and it seems like the farther away this thread grows, the more we forget where it began. And it's an undeniable fact that the human race, the world, began in one place. And before we can cultivate and have peace in the source of where we began, you know, the beginning of this thread, you know, that vibrates up until where we are right now, until we can go back and celebrate and enrich where we came from, and using our expression of art that was the evolution of modern human. And now we're at a time when sources of creativity or social networking is vast and reaching around the world at an incredible rate, that we are at that same peak, and it only seems right to be able to go back at the source of where we came from and celebrate that source, you know? Like, people should not have the same immediate connotation when they hear Africa. They shouldn't think like, oh, poor Africa. No, they should think, wow, this place is sacred. This is where we came from. And the only reason that in a global scale the same thoughts are projected about Africa is because globally everyone has the same idea the moment you say Africa. They think of the dark continent, but that's not true. The only reason that's true is because people that are benefiting from their bountiful amounts of resources that are being taken out of there, and while miseducation is being implemented, you know? And for me, running across Canada to try to spread a message, to have a concert where the world can be reminded, you know, where we can unite as one again, you know, have a global family reunion and figure out how are we going to proceed forward. And 200,000 years ago is when humans started coming around, and then 70,000 years ago there was a very small group of people that left off the Horn of Africa, and those were the pioneers that went to spread around the world. But it's an undeniable fact that we all came from the same place, and until we can go back into the heart of where we came from and celebrate with nothing but peace, compassion, and share music and art in a vast then we will see peace in the world. And it's funny, it's taken me a while to kind of come to that realization, you know, and that's between moving to a place like Canada, which embraced my creativity and also embraced immigrants and made it part of Canadian culture to involve other cultures. It only seems right that I can only show my gratitude by running across, just to spread a message about returning home, you know, and yeah. So 9 months of training until we do this cross Canada run and unite musicians, artists, and everyone around the world. And I don't know, thanks for listening to me rant. One love, and hope you all have a good day.